Hello everyone and welcome to the hands-on demo on AWS Elastic Beanstalk. So AWS Elastic Beanstalk, which is like a platform as a service, offers you pre-built application environment like Node.js, Java, Python, PHP, wherein you can just upload your application and it will take care of all the like how many EC2 instances you want to deploy on to setting up load balancers, setting up all the networking security groups, firewall rules, etc. And this is like so you don't have to like spin up by yourself or install any kind of runtime on your EC2. So with that brief introduction, let's get started. So first I will create an EC2 key pair. So this key pair will only come handy if you want to log into your EC2 instance to check some logs or change some operating system settings. So but anyway, nonetheless I will show you that part also. So first is to create a key pair. So I will go to console home and search for EC2. Open that in a new tab and click on key pairs. So I'll copy the key pair name as it is. So if you are on Linux or Mac, you can choose RSA, or if you are on a Windows machine, you can just go for PPK file, but in this case I'll just use PEM file. So click on create key pair. Give the name any name that you wish for, but I'll just follow the demo instructions and click create key pair. So I'll just save it onto my local machine. Next is to create an IAM role for EB Elastic Beanstalk EC2 instances. So this particular IAM role will help. So Elastic Beanstalk is a separate service, right? So it will make some changes onto your EC2 instances. So when it makes changes to your EC2 instances, we will attach what we call as instance profile roles, and those roles will give enough permission for Elastic Beanstalk to make application related changes like install the runtime, install the application, deploy the application. So for this we have to create the IAM role. So I'll go to console home and search for IAM. I will open this also in a new tab and click on roles, click create role. So first is AWS service. So this role will be assumed by which service. So you have AWS account, web identity, SAML2 federation, or custom trust policy, but this is for, in this case we want to assign it to EC2, so we'll say this will be assumed by this service. Next, click on next, then add permissions. So herein we have to add permissions. So I'll just see which all permissions I have to add. So I have to add all these permission policies which is Elastic Beanstalk related. So Elastic Beanstalk role core, role worker tier, web tier, and worker tier. So there are total of 4 that I have to attach. So if I just search for, let's say, Beanstalk, something like this, so herein I can see those permissions. So it is Elastic Beanstalk web tier, Elastic Beanstalk worker tier, and role core, and one more is Elastic role worker tier. So this one, role worker tier. So all these 4 permission policies, and then click on next. So and give a role name. So I'll just copy the role name as it is. So this name is arbitrary. You can give whatever you want. Only thing, we will attach it later to the when we create the Elastic Beanstalk application. So click on create role. So the role is created. Next is to create the application. For this we will log into Elastic Beanstalk. So I'll search for something like bean and click on Elastic Beanstalk. click create application. So I'll just choose web server environment. I'll give it a name. So I'll just call it my first EB app. So this part will get automatically populated. You can keep all the rest settings as default. Platform type as managed. Sample application. So you can upload your own file, but we'll just use the sample application. So herein you have to upload the file. It can be local on your machine or on a S3. I will just choose single instance, free tier, eligible. Next. Okay, we have to choose a platform, right? So this is the mandatory part. So you can see which all supported platforms are there: .NET, Core, and Linux and Windows, Docker, Go, Java, Node.js, PHP, Python, Ruby, and Tomcat. So in this case, I'll just choose Python and just choose the default Python 3.11 and 4.1.3 recommended version, and click on next. Okay, next is to give this particular setting. So herein, so we have done this part. So herein we have to choose, we have to create either a new service role or use an existing service role. So here we already okay. So this part will go into EC2 instance profile. So for this I will create a new service role. So I'll just say AWS Elastic Beanstalk service role, and I'll just choose the key pair and EC2 instance profile and click on next. And next, herein you can give your whether it should be in a VPC or not. You can give those settings. We'll just keep it default. And if you want it to run with the database, you can enable it a database also, and any tags if you want. For root volume boot devices, keep default settings. And herein you can specify EC2 security group. So for this I'll just choose the default security group, which should be there also in your account. And auto scaling group, single instance. So we are just development, we are just doing it for testing, so we just say single instance. But you can see you can choose load balanced also, and on demand instance. Instance types, it will pick one of them, and this will come automatically. So click on next. Okay, next on monitoring and logging, keep default enhanced monitoring. Manage platform updates, keep default settings. If you want any notifications, you can just specify that. Deployment policy, all at once, and other things you can just keep default settings and click on next. Okay, now you can just review and you can review all the settings and click submit. So this you will see the event history. So this is so the bottom one is the last one, and then most recent will come on top. So this will take some time. So after around 3-4 minutes, the environment got successfully launched and the health is okay. So if I go down, scroll down, so I can see the event history. So it's create environment. It will create a public Elastic IP and it will wait for EC2 instances to get launched, and it will give something like instance deployment. So first it will install the runtime, Python runtime, then it will install the application, and it will successfully launch this particular Elastic Beanstalk app. So So herein, if you can see, this has something like this domain. So basically this is where this application is hosted. So I've just open in new tab. So you will see this application is deployed. So we have seen all these settings. And we have confirmed and verified it's working fine by accessing it. So this is publicly available. So this is hosted on elasticbeanstalk.com and it is in US East 1. And after the application name, it will just give you some random ID and it will know to which AWS account it is tied to. So now I'll just show you if you add a new environment variable. So this will just update the application, even though we are not because this is not our custom application, but this is how you can add some environment variable and use it within your application, which is a best practice. So for this, you go to environment and I'll add this particular environment variable. So herein, if you click on configuration, and under it will come under updates, monitoring and logging, and herein you can add this environment property, and click on apply. So as soon as I update or add any environment variable, you will observe that event history has some new events like environment update is starting. So if I just click refresh, updating environment. So this will just continue. There will be one or two more events. So it will just do the health check also after you add some environment or let's say update some code. And it will say that instance deployment successfully generated some proc file and deployment completed successfully. So even if I refresh this application URL, so our application is running fine and health is okay and updated successfully. And we can also see the backend EC2 instance. So if I go to EC2 service and click on instances, you should see this particular backend EC2. So this is actually serving your application, but we don't have to do any kind of wiring or we don't have to install anything. So you can connect to this particular EC2 instance by selecting this EC2 instance and clicking on connect. So first I'll show you how to connect to SSH client via SSH terminal client. So go to the SSH client tab and click on this connection string. Go to the terminal. First make sure you change the file permission. So make it 400 and keep your file name and then paste the connection string. So at this point it will warn you that you cannot connect with a root user. So what I can do, I can just cancel it and replace that root with EC2 user. So here you can see we are giving the key pair. So I am inside the EC2 instance and I can just explore the file system. So if I go to root and if I go to var app, so this is where the application is deployed. If I just do ls, so under current folder the application is deployed. So you will see application.py file. So if I do I should see the whole code what we are seeing on the screen, which is this particular Python application. So I'll just exit it out Okay, now I can show you how to connect via this one EC2 instance connect. This is totally browser based. So just come here and click on connect. And one advantage, this will log in with root directly. So I'll just zoom the screen a bit and close this part. So you can see Elastic Beanstalk because this EC2 was part of Elastic Beanstalk. So I just do pwd and I am in root folder, and so you can just explore the file system some more. So this is under var, and under app you will see the current folder and virtual environment for the Python. So here is the application py file and all the dependencies, and this proc file, whenever we update, this gets updated. So this is the whole thing, and I can just confirm. Okay, so this is the code for the Flask application. All this thing is the same. And now we'll just do the cleanup. So first is to terminate the Elastic Beanstalk app. So on this page itself, click on actions and terminate environment. So this will take some time, but it will continue to terminate. Next is to delete the EC2 instance profile role. So I am on the roles page, and if I just search for eb-ec2, I can just click delete here and copy paste the profile role. And I can delete the EC2 key pair also. And that's all. So I'll just confirm whether I'll just show you that EC2 also is being shut down because of this particular environment being terminated. So it will just take some time, but it will get automatically terminated after some time. And with that, that's all. Thanks for watching.